I think that's that. So let's see here. Huh. Got that going, and then we're gonna have to fix this as well. Add sword. Let's see. It always has to be at work to get this working, I tell you. And then there's that. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, good. We need to get a better green room back there. All the fruits all bruised and dried up.
Green room? Hmm?
You know where people stay backstage, like behind the before
Oh
shows.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah. The fruit's all dried up. Yeah. See, that's how it is at my actual place too. I can't finish anything before it all goes bad.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Right. Yeah. So thanks for being on here, man.
Hey, no problem. I'm curious to see how this goes. I've never done anything like this before.
No?
No.
Huh.
Oh, is that unusual? Is that a normal experience for people
I
that
think
hop on
so
things
because
like
I
this?
don't think because I think it's kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the words. I swear I'm out of it today, but a
That's good.
novel, a novel experience most of the time, right?
Well, that this is a novel experience for me. It's new.
Yeah.
Um,
I
no, it
got
should be interesting.
Yeah, so you said before we started there's something about retro technology you were looking to talk about.
Oh, I didn't. I don't recall that any sort of conversation. I think I marked that I like talking about retro games in general or
That's fair.
streaming or
That's
whatever.
fair. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And so streaming. What specifically about streaming are you thinking? Was it?
Um, just in general, like I like supporting small streamers. Just sort of the things I've seen. Um, People that have made it, people that haven't, that sort of stuff.
Right. I mean, is it always about making it though, or is it more just about
Well, it depends on the streamer, isn't it? I've
Right,
actually
right.
I asked that question to a lot of streamers too. Some people are just happy to form a small community, make some friends along the way, and just be happy there. Some people really do want to be that person that strikes lightning and
Lightning in a bottle.
yeah, and is able to make it somehow big on this crazy website.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that. I guess it's kind of a it's about the journey, not the destination sort of thing. I guess if you go into it, it's like, man, if I don't do this for a living within the next 2 years, then like, what's the point, right? But if it's like if you get into it to enjoy it, and it just so happens that that kind of mentality gets you into a career out of it, then it's like you're not going to say no 90% of the time, right?
Right. I mean that's what most people answer. It's like, I'm happy just doing this small time thing, but if I happen to make money out of it, wouldn't say no, wouldn't you? Right.
Right. I can definitely
Um
feel that. Did you ever stream?
so I did for a brief period of time. I actually do stream, but not on this
Not on
like
Twitch.
my well, no, not on my account. Like
Oh, I see. I
I actually
see.
share an account with several other people and we stream like for each other, if that makes
Gotcha.
sense. We're just
Yeah,
like a small group of friends. We just like to goof around on here. So,
I can definitely see that, but I'm curious as to what made you decide to do one account and like how that doesn't get messy.
well, we don't stream all that often.
Fair enough.
We used to stream a lot more, and it did get messy. At some point, we even had two accounts because so many people were trying to stream at the same time. Um,
I wouldn't even think just like streaming at the same time, but also just like In the off chance that you did, like you said, strike lightning in a bottle, and one person wants to go one direction, like who has ownership of all of the like
See, and that's
material
the
and that
thing.
sort of thing?
We decided a long time ago. We were never going to accept affiliate. Like we could be affiliate right now if we wanted to, right? Because
Yeah,
we have everything we need. But how do you do that, and why would you do that? That would just become a big mess. So, um, just say no to all that. No emotes, no anything like that. We actually don't even look at Twitch chat. we
really.
have our so what we have is we have our own website set up
Okay, so
with
you're going old,
integrated.
almost old school, if you think.
Yes, absolutely. We've been streaming since 2009.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So we even have our own little website set up with an integrated IRC chat room. And there's a link to it on our Twitch channel, but no one ever looks at it. No one ever goes to the website. It's not like we turn down any visitors, but at this point we've
Right.
realized we're just sort of streaming for each other, that sort of thing.
Whenever I hear people say like they have their own website and it's connected to streaming or YouTube anyway, I just think of like 2007 YouTube where people are using it as the like a secondary source of income where it's like, hey, we're going to advertise like college humor or something on YouTube so that you
Oh
guys come to
yeah.
our websites. That's what the first thing that came to mind. That's why I was thinking like, wow, you're trying to get people away from Twitch to your own.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, nothing like that. It's almost so we can hide from Twitch more or less.
Sure. I was gonna say that's ambitious as hell. Holy crap.
um, because personally, like when I start streaming, like I love video games. I love playing video games. It's my number one hobby. But the second I like start streaming, it starts to feel like work, like immediately.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me too. Like I was not planning the first like real stream I did, which was actually the first one that you showed up to, which was the Sonic that every ring challenge.
Yeah, that was
That
crazy.
that was crazy, and actually wasn't expecting to do the whole 7.5 hour thing in one night. But like people just kept coming in and out, and I was having enough fun with it. And it just like it's like oh people are watching. I can't just quit.
So did you just come like you must have seen that somewhere, right? Or did you find a way to program into that? What
I did not
program that into it?
program most anything myself. No,
Okay.
it was a personal project from somebody. I found it through Twitter, where basically all it does is it uses a custom Genesis emulator. It's not even a Genesis emulator. They call them cores, and it's like a hub for a bunch of different emulators. I don't know. I wasn't too interested in that specifically, but that was the only way you could get this like custom Genesis emulator, where the whole idea was that you could work with ROM bank switching with a modern PC, so that way it could detect when something happens or when some sort of address in memory is being uh, changed, and then it would automatically switch to a random bank containing a different game ROM, and then it would also be able to save the state of that game. And so I found out about that and I set it up myself. But I know I didn't absolutely did not. I don't know anything about development for like retro systems or emulators or
Sure. I mean, that was definitely a super unique thing to just stumble on. I've seen other stuff like it before. Like one I've seen is I'm a big fan of the Mega Man series, and it is like it's the same thing. It's every Mega Man game, except it switches every time you get hit.
every time you get hit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that would. I mean, at the very least, I feel like it wouldn't switch as often. But I also don't know any. I've beaten Mega Man 1 and 2. Right, that's about it.
That's insane, actually, because Mega Man 1 and 2 are like honestly like, and I love the series, but in my opinion, those are like the hardest ones.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't tell you enough,
Yeah.
especially going
Well, I
into the
mean,
last stages and it becomes a gauntlet.
like it's even to the point where if someone like asked me what Mega Man game to play, I'd be like, do not play one. Just skip that. Just skip that one until
Skip
you're like
one,
super familiar with it. Like
right?
that's so I'm actually surprised to hear this. You say that you've
I
seen one.
it was just a stubbornness thing because I had gotten the Legacy collection on Xbox
Yeah, it's
when it was at its full price, and so I was like, well, I can't just like not beat a single one of them if I paid full price for what is basically like an emulated collection of NES games, right? So because it was only like 1 through 6, I think.
yeah,
And so
most
I just
likely.
started from the front and then I just played through them. And I used a ton of guides, especially for Mega Man 2 at the very end, because it felt like there were some puzzles and stuff that weren't really intuitive. And if you screwed them up, you had to go back to the beginning of Wily
Mm.
Castle. So,
Yeah, Mega Man 2 in particular has two different bosses that only take damage from a single weapon. So
yeah.
if you run out of that weapon, it's just You don't
I,
know this, but it's just yeah, game
I
over.
wouldn't have been able to beat it if I didn't have the internet or anything by my side. So when the game came out, basically.
In fact, the last boss of Mega Man 2, if you hit him with any weapon that's not that, he just heals all the way up to full health, which is like a big, like, just punch to the gut when you see
Yeah,
that.
that's part of the reason I think a lot of retro gaming is really held together by nostalgia because it is really,
Absolutely.
really hard to get into some of those older games.
I really like I collect consoles for like a hobby,
Right.
so I have like every United States released console from the NES onward.
Oh,
And
no
I
kidding.
never have my NES plugged in because I do not have the patience for the Nintendo anymore.
I mean, with the internet and the whatnot, like it's a little better.
Oh, a
I've
little. I mean, not much though. They do not give you
right.
leeway, and a lot of times, every guide in the world isn't going to help you because you just still need the reaction time and the memorization, really.
Right. The big thing for me is that I was born in 2000, but everything we owned growing up was hand me down, right? So everything we
Hmm.
had was from like the mid 90s. And it feels like whenever I go back and play something that I played a lot from the mid 90s, like Sonic Adventure or, Crash 2, Crash 3, Crash Team Racing, it's like I can always excuse it, and I'm always way more patient with it. But like even with just like Half-Life, which came out later, it came out the same year as Sonic Adventure. It's like even though it's technically a more polished game, just because I didn't grow up with it,
Hmm.
like I have less patience for figuring out all of its like quirks and the whatnot. That's why it was
Yeah.
spread out over like 3 days, because it's like I am tiring myself trying to figure this out.
Well, I totally get it. I never even had the patience to beat Half Life, and I was playing games like on my computer. I was playing Counter Strike and Team Fortress Classic. I was playing other games using that engine. I did not have the the patience to
It was
actually
Source Gold, yeah.
to play through Half Life. I forget where it was. There's just a couple of dumb spots in that game where you walk down the wrong hallway and the hallway just collapses and you die. And there's a lot of saving in that game and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, I mean, I can get past the whole saving thing and the whatnot, but like, sometimes you just need a humble reminder of why the strategy guides were sold, and they were at
Mhm.
their height in like the early 2000s. Those were still
Well,
going strong when I was growing up too, but they were always so expensive.
I mean, they still had, the older games like the Genesis games, the NES games. They had hint like telephone hotlines you had to call in. I don't
Yeah,
know
and
if
they
you
would
knew that or
charge you.
not.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they
they
would.
charge you a lot.
I'm more
Um,
familiar with the tech than I am some of the individual game trivia. Right?
mm.
It
Well,
depends.
no, yeah, yeah. It's just funny. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but Half Life is funny. Because you've seen, yeah, like you were talking about maybe playing through Opposing Force or Blue Shift, but um, there is a port of Half Life to the PlayStation 2
Mm-hmm.
that has its own like mini expansion pack added onto
Decay,
it.
Decay, right?
Yeah, Decay.
See, I just learned
Um,
about this a couple days ago because I
oh,
was
did you?
playing
All
Half
right.
Life. I was,
Well, that one's unique because it's cooperative.
hmm
It's built for two players. And I always wondered how different or like palatable Half Life would be if you could play with two people.
right.
'Cause I don't know how you feel about it, but like I could play like the worst video game in the world, and it would at least be like a 4 out of 10 if I'm at least playing it with like a friend.
That's true. And like the best game, it's the same thing with movies, right? Like a shit movie is better than an okay movie if you're watching it with friends, because then at least
Yeah.
you get to make fun of it.
Hmm.
Like people love those. It's so bad, it's so good. That's why The Room is such a cult classic.
Yeah.
I've never even
Yeah.
seen it, but I people never shut up about it because of I've never seen it, so I don't get any of the references. But it's definitely the same feeling I get with some other bad movies I've seen, or even good ones that just don't take itself seriously, right?
So I've
Sometimes.
seen clips. I've seen clips and I've seen references. I've never actually seen the movie from front to back, but
Hmm.
like at a certain point, you've seen and heard enough that you don't really actually have to see the movie. I think.
That's fair.
Um,
I have heard people say that you know as much about the movie going into it as you do coming out because of how like hard it is to follow. But I think for me, it would be more like every once in a while a scene comes up that's really like popular on the internet, and I can point and be like, "Oh, I've seen that. I know that."
mhm.
That's about it for me, though. I have a hard time getting around to movies.
It's it's hard for me to sit down and watch new movies. I just like to be doing multiple things at the same time. That's why I like playing video games because I can usually mess around with one while watching a movie or something like that. But that also means I can't really devote full attention to either one.
Yeah, I won't
And
watch. I'm sorry.
no, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't play video games and watch movies at the same time, but I'll watch something on YouTube, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
that
don't
too.
want to.
Same,
I don't
same
want two
concept.
things that are movies. Typically, you have to be able to follow them to keep it like where the plot's
Well,
going and kind
and that's
of.
why I don't watch new movies like much anymore. I usually throw something on I've seen a million times, or whatever happens to be the movie of the day on Disney Plus or whatever streaming service is in
Hmm.
vogue at the moment.
Right.
Uh, and then I can throw something on the SNES or the Genesis and just mess around. Those old games, those especially those older games, don't require as much investment either.
It
Um,
depends, I imagine. And once you've beaten it, then absolutely, it feels like playing through it over and over again can be faster.
but even like even the most fast paced like NES game is going to be light years slower than your average like modern game these days. They just couldn't do as much, so it really is like it doesn't require as much attention.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I
I
guess
think that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
I think I get what you mean. Like, it can be difficult, but there's not as much focus, more focus you can put into it to like uh, make it less difficult. It has its own unique progression to
I
getting
just
better
think
at the
that
game.
games these days just have a million different systems in it all the time,
That is true. That is true.
and
Some games are simpler.
it's never just most NES games are move left to right, hit a button.
Hmm.
If you really want to devolve down to
You
that.
got two buttons
Um,
on the controller. It's like, well, how much can you really do?
even Sonic the Hedgehog one, the Sega Genesis had three buttons on it, and all three
Hmm.
buttons did the exact same thing in Sonic the Hedgehog. Right? If you just jump, that's all you can do.
Yeah, and Yuji Naka never figured out how to make more buttons do more things, even when on the PlayStation 5. So I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, just had to get my roasting on Yuji Naka for no reason.
So they're remastering the Genesis games,
Yeah, I
right?
saw
For
that.
some
I talked
reason.
about it on my last stream right before we started, where it was the Sonic Origins collection, and I thought that looked cool. The big turnoff is that it's like $45.
I heard one of my friends argued that was a fair price. I just, but then you go back to like you would have bought all those games separately back in the day, and these are remasters, ground up, and it's like, yeah, but the value of video games has changed, I think. And as much as I like Sonic the Hedgehog, the first game isn't, the first two games aren't really worth that much to me. um,
They're worth a lot, and I think that see, here's the thing though, right? Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, that's released by Sega too.
yeah,
They took the two games, like these pretty big games, and they completely remastered it, added a whole bunch of things, put all the party games together, added a 7,000 achievements in their achievement system, all of these special things, dark banana mode, reverse mode, all of this, right? And they included new soundtracks, including the old one, and then they sell it to you for $30 with all these extra characters and whatnot. And
mhm,
then they say, okay, here's the same four games. It's like, we'll make it widescreen, which we've had for most of these games, like on mobile devices, and
sure,
we're going to
yeah.
sell it to you for $45 with a few, several second animations involved. And
And from
so
what I understand, there's maybe even some DLC involved too, which is even more
that's
ridiculous.
well, I mean, I was a little annoyed about the DLC until I found out that the difference between the standard and the deluxe edition is $5. And so it's like by the time you reach $40 for these games, $5 isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, good point.
I do think it's cool how we finally have versions of the games on, especially Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which Sega has been very, very adamant about not releasing. I guess
It's so
because of
funny
the way
because
copyrights.
everyone loves the fact that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is coming back out or whatever. Everyone's finally get the chance to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and that sort of impact has nothing like on me who grew up with that game,
Uh huh.
and was like, I actually didn't like Sonic 3 and Knuckles that much.
Really?
It was a bit too, it was too long for me. That game was entirely
Too
too long for
long.
me.
Wow.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm a small attention span gamer, especially when it comes to platforming. There's only so much you can do with a platformer as
I
basic as
I
like
can attest to that. If there's too many mechanics going around for a platformer, I start to lose interest.
mm.
That's why I liked
How
the
about
first Ori game, but the second one kind of became a turnoff for me after a while because it was more
oh
complicated.
Did they add a bunch in the second one? I never got around to playing the second
Well,
one.
the first one, like everything you can do, it has a bunch of movement abilities, and you become so
Mm,
nimble, and everything's attached to a single button on your controller, right? I was playing on the Xbox One, and so it would be left trigger and then press A for this, right? Once you unlocked it.
yeah.
But they added so many new things to the sequel that a lot of the weapons and the whatnot, you have to actually go into a menu and swap for them. And like some of the abilities were different, and so if you wanted to do something, instead of just like quickly going around it, you would have to like open up a menu, find the right item, smash it with a hammer or whatever, a spirit hammer, and then you'd go through. And then instead of it being kind of progression based, they kind of gave you a hub where like there's a village where you could go back and do things and like talk to people. And so I guess the arcadey feel of it kind of disappeared, and they tried to make it bigger, but that's not what I
Mhm.
played Ori for.
Yeah, I really liked the flow and the movement in the first Ori game. Just especially when you started to get the hang of it. You're just flying around
Hmm.
these neat locales. That's a shame. I hadn't tried the second one yet. I meant to. I think it was on Game Pass. I don't know if it still is anymore.
Oh yeah. I'm not. I own it on Steam, and I was thinking
Oh, I
about
got you.
like trying to stream it, but then I said to myself, it's like it's been so long, I'd have to restart, and I don't know. Uh, and that's the thing, right? Is like when they keep track of things like in that game and make a big deal out of how many times you've died or how much damage you've given, how many damage, and those metrics kind of become less worthwhile to me when the focus is taken away from where you're going, how you're solving puzzles. We're doing great today, BG. How are you? Uh, and so that just becomes, and so it feels like it's kind of stretching between them. I don't know. I'll probably finish it at some point, but
Mhm. Yeah, sometimes they drop the ball with sequels. They try to do too much.
I don't even think they dropped the ball. I think it's a fine game. It just there's too many things that had to add, and there isn't enough buttons on the controller. That's all I'm thinking. If
Um,
it was made for PC and like everything, including like swapping items, could be done with like the keyboard with like one, two,
okay.
three, four, five, I wouldn't have nearly as much of an issue with that. And if they kind of and there's nothing wrong with a hub world. It's just I don't want to have to go through all of the details of the when this pacing falls to a crawl when I'm trying to do like an achievement hunt, right? Like go through the
Yeah.
entire game without dying a single time. Like, do I want to really go through all of these slow paced points like 100 times while I'm going for this achievement?
hmm So you're an achievement hunter then?
I was for that game, and that was only because of how easy it was to just boot up a new save file and get right into it. And BG, this is
Um,
mostly just about retro and in general. I'm talking to chat. Sorry.
I was like, I see the chat too. um, my enthusiasm for getting trophies is entirely on how much I enjoy the game. I
Hmm.
guess probably the same for you, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's for anybody, right? It's supposed to incentivize.
I don't know. There's some people that go out of their way just to try and do everything in every video game, even to their, maybe that's just what they really like, regardless of the game. Just checking boxes off the list.
It also depends on the achievements themselves too. Some games go way, way, way overboard.
Yeah, one of my favorite game series is Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Uh, but I swear, in like every Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed game, there's some trophy where it's like, go collect 200 feathers. And they're all scattered about like the whole thing. You have no idea where they
Hmm.
are,
I
and
watched
it's
a
like,
completionist video on that actually.
yeah.
So
So it's like, man, I like this game and I really like the free running, but oof. I
Ubisoft's
did
games
do
are
it. I
kind of
did do it.
cheating. Like you
Yeah.
can attach that to any Ubisoft game. The one game
Yeah.
where there's one achievement on Xbox 360 I don't think I'll ever get, even though I played this game to death, is Guitar Hero 3.
hmm
Because that game can have some hard achievements, but I'm pretty decent at that game. And one of the
Achievements in Guitar Hero 3. So that was on the Xbox
Xbox 360
360.
version.
I'm used to playing on the PlayStation 2.
Yes,
It didn't occur to me that it would have achievements. That's fun.
yeah, they had Guitar Hero 2 on Xbox 360 and PS3. Um, but the thing is, like, they have one for beating the main story mode on easy, medium, hard, expert. And beating the story mode on expert is already an achievement of itself. That game gets
Yeah,
really, really
that
difficult.
last song.
The
Isn't that
devil
when
went
you have
down
to?
into Georgia, or you
Yeah,
have to fight with
and
Lou.
Yeah.
I consider it one of the biggest difficulty spikes in games. But one of them that I ended up getting after a really long time was 5-starring Through the Fire and Flames on expert.
Oh yeah,
That took
I don't think I ever
forever.
did that.
But the one achievement I don't think I'll ever earn is it's called Dueling Dragons, I believe. Or is it Fighting Dragons? Some where basically you have to beat Through the Fire and Flames on expert 5-star in co-op mode. So I would have to find somebody
Yeah.
who is good enough at the game to 5-star Through the Fire and Flames just so we can play it and get that one like 30G achievement. That's never gonna happen. I hate those kind of achievements. And a lot of Steam achievements are just broken. I don't know.
Yeah, those are all broken. I've never been a fan of achievements that require online or even multiplayer to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Like, I don't know. You can't just not make those. I think why not have some multiplayer achievements, but especially the ones that require online. They have such a limited time before you can do it before servers shut down or
That's
anything like
true.
that.
I
Um,
mean, at least,
they're Go ahead.
I mean, as long as it's not like a Nintendo game, I don't think the server shutting down is usually too big of an issue. I mean,
I'm not sure. I feel like there are a number of games out there you literally cannot,
mm-hmm.
platinum or perfect. I don't know what you call it in the 360.
Right, that's
um,
true.
these days because it's just especially I'm talking now like the 360 era or the PlayStation 3 era, not
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, or Xbox One.
Right.
Um,
I'm thinking when you say that, I'm thinking Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. I don't know if you've heard of that game.
I've definitely heard of the series.
Well, that game in particular has an achievement for reaching #1 on the global
Yeah,
leaderboards.
oh, yeah, okay. So one person probably can get that. Obviously, more people can, but it's not going to be a lot of people, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, that's really what an achievement is, right? That is an actual, like, really honest to goodness achievement that you could say, hey, I was #1 in the global.
Well, see, the last person to achieve it said they did it because the game was it's dead, no one's playing it, and so they
Yeah,
just got like
exactly.
10 Xboxes, made 10 accounts with gold, and then like just let one account just kill them over and over until eventually they accumulated enough points to be world champion.
Mhm.
Like that's the only way you can do it now.
Okay, that's working smarter, not harder.
I mean, it's the only way that would work. What else is? I don't like achievements that are based off of, I guess, determination more than skill, right? Like my kung fu is stronger from Mortal Kombat 9. Never got that, even though I loved Mortal Kombat 9 because it wasn't about how good you were at the game; it's how much time you put into it, right?
What did you have to do for that?
You know what? It's so here. Let me look this up now
Yeah,
because
so
it's such a my. Kung-
wow, it's like if I just type in my Kung, it just automatically like.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna have it on OBS really quick if I. So my kung fu is stronger. Achievement. You needed to gain mastery of all fighters. Yeah. No, this is a guide. I don't want a guide. I just want to achievement requirements. I'll type in. Yeah, okay, so you have to win 100 matches, execute 100 alities, so like, fatality,
Mhm.
land 150 x-rays, spill 10,000 pints of blood, and play that character for 24 hours. Rinse and repeat all of that for every single character in the game.
Yeah,
So that means at the very minimum, just to get to play the character for 24 hours, how many characters are in the game? Like 25? You'd have to play 25 days straight just to get that, and then you'd have to do
mhm.
the ridiculous amount of winning and...
But I guess it goes back to like so, what is I wonder what the overall like popular philosophy view on achievements is. Should they all be achievable, or should there always be like an achievement out there that is like that one where you really have to put in that sort of time,
Right. I mean, there should always be difficult achievements, but I think they should be fun to achieve, right?
Well, that was
Uh,
probably fun to someone. I don't know who.
and also the big thing is Steam and PlayStation in particular make a big deal out of getting everything. Like for Steam, you
Yes,
get the
yes.
ribbon, and for PlayStation, you get the platinum trophy.
Yes.
Not as much for
Uh,
Xbox, I suppose. I guess Xbox does have things for rare achievements, but that doesn't really fit the same mold.
yeah, you get
And so
those.
it's like, if you're going to make it such a big deal to get that platinum trophy, then everything should be kind of within a realm of completion, right?
Mm,
Like, the
uh,
ridiculous ones are just weird to me because it basically like stops me from thinking, well, why go for achievements at all if I know I'm never going to achieve this one?
I wonder if there is like a single agreed upon hardest video game achievement.
I think the technical one, I swear to, it's like this really shitty game on Xbox Live Arcade where it's like a remake of Centipede or something, and I think it's literally physically impossible, but technically impossible. What is it called here? Is it achievement? It's achievement, if I can spell correctly. It's not even gonna let me fix it. Uh, achievement Centipede game. Let's just do that. Centipede Recharged. Is that it? How many people have achieved it? Maybe I swear it was like reach level 90. Or is it 40? It might be 40.
Yeah, I don't know. I know what Centipede is, but that's one of them really, really, really old arcade games I couldn't care too much about.
Uh-huh. I could be misremembering it too, but like for whatever reason, I guess it was just so unbelievably difficult that it was literally inhuman. Like
Well,
you
it's
could
funny.
only a machine could do it.
So I just randomly Googled like hardest video game achievements, and the first one I came on was the one you mentioned, the world champion from
Yeah,
Ghost
I'm not
Recon Advanced
surprised about
Fighter.
that one, yeah. Let me see what people
So
have for hardest game achievements. Seriously, 5.0, I shouldn't be surprised that that one is in there. That one's another one though where it's like the only way you're getting it is by spending an ungodly amount of time playing the game.
mhm. I know there's that one for Metal Gear Solid 4 where you have to play the game like 8 times, which is not
Is it
fun.
the legendary hero? Because that's what's listed
Yeah.
as number 5 when I Google it.
Mhm.
That's another one that's. What else is there? Oh, hey, the Bladder of Steel Award. I wonder who got that one
Oh
recently.
yeah, kind of. Hold
Kind
on,
of, kind of.
you have
That's
to
true.
asterisk that.
Yeah, I have to asterisk that. Okay, but that gives you a good idea of just how unbelievably like awful that one is.
Well, I
Oh,
got the idea of it when you first described it. I mean, you have to use your imagination too much to know how hard that would be.
I almost failed that, not because the last songs were too much for me, but because my hands had just been so. And that was with a break too. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
so
the
at
idea.
least an hour break.
The only way I see somebody getting this is if I have, like I said, if after I got that Dueling Dragons achievement with the guy who is good enough
Yeah,
to get expert, is like I go halfway and they said, okay, it's your turn. We just keep
yeah,
like going off and off.
like every 20 minutes or so, just well, but maybe not even that often. Yeah, 6 hours. Was it 6 hours and a half? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I mean, like the stream itself was much longer just because I had to take a break
Right.
and the whatnot. But yeah, that was even with the break, dude. My for 2 days my left hand specifically was just sore as all can be. Yeah, I mean, it's not just about whether you can handle it. It's also about who is going to like want to dedicate themselves to that much time for one game. Like you're putting a day aside for that practically.
I was trying to look for it, but I couldn't find it. I could have sworn one of the Guitar Hero games had an achievement just for actually watching the credits all the way through.
It depends. If it's Guitar Hero 3, that's not bad at all because you get to play through the Fire and Flames.
Mm. But it's just funny. It's like Ubisoft in particular. I know they didn't do Guitar Hero, but those credits get to be like hours long, like over an hour
Right.
long. Hey, I see Mega Man on there.
Oh, Mr. Perfect, I'm guessing.
Hey, I've gotten that one.
You've actually gotten that one. You must
So
really like
it's
Mega Man.
it's not as awful as you might think. Yeah, you do have to beat the game without getting hit, but the way the autosaves work, like if you get hit in a level, you can just
Oh, you
you
can
know
save spam or whatever.
well, it's on save states, but you'll have to start the level back over. But it's not like you get to play the whole game.
Okay.
You don't have to play the whole game in one sitting without getting hit. If you get
Okay.
hit, you can just start the level over again. It's still rough. Obviously, you still have to be able to get through the whole game without getting hit. But
I mean,
I
for a
think
Mega
that
Man game, that's pretty rough.
These are like the newer ones. Mega Man 9 and 10 were the
Uh-huh.
ones that were like the reboot 20 years after all the old ones were made. They were a bit easier because of it. Like I
Uh-huh.
couldn't do that in any old ones. Like I said, I still I can barely beat Mega Man 1 and I usually have to cheat.
Right. What was I gonna say? I got the invincible achievement in Ori. Going full circle back to that, where you have to beat the whole game without
Yeah.
being in once. But once again, you can create separate saves. They ended up patching it so that it left a permanent
Uh,
mark on your save account, but people don't have to
yeah,
know that.
yeah, exactly. And same thing for Mega Man 10. I got the achievement. Everyone can assume I played through the whole game in one sitting without. Like you don't have to play in one sitting. You can just try a level a day. It's not that
I've
hard.
got the achievement. Who are you to like accuse me of cheating?
Mhm.
Now here's the this one right here that I'm looking at is the exact most egregious definition of it takes time but not skill is the go outside achievement from the Stanley Parable. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Is that the one where you had to wait a long time, or is that the random one where no one knows how to actually get it?
The way you get it is you boot up the game, and then from the last time you played the game, you have to wait 5 years in real time before you play the game again.
I wonder if I could get that achievement right now.
Wait, did you play the Stanley Parable over 5 years ago?
I believe so. I'll have to look. Like I got Steam open. I give so yeah. That achievement sounds awful, but the whole idea of the Stanley Parable is that it's weird to begin with. Like the whole
Right,
game's a meta
I've
joke.
seen it.
Um,
This does say that it's actually not that difficult because you can just turn off your internet connection and change your internal like OS clock to 5 years later, and then play the game.
I wish I knew how long ago I played this.
So you can pull an Animal Crossing. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to like screw it up 4 years, 364 days like before you
So
could
I
get the.
last played this June 4th, 2015. So
So you could
the
start it up now and get this super
good to
rare
go. But
achievement. Just added.
I'll have to do that after I'll have to install it again.
What else is there that I recognize?
Wow, two on that list.
Yeah, I'm only sitting pretty with one right
With
now.
one
There's a
one in an
legendary here. I have
asterisk.
not played. I played the only Metal Gear Solid game I played is 5, and it was amazing. So, but I know it also
Four
plays differently.
four is a culmination of a series. Like so, five is an amazing game by itself. I
It's
don't
a
think you had to
prequel
play
more. It's a
any other.
prequel of a sequel.
Yeah, and so you can play five without having played any other Metal Gear and be absolutely just stunned with all the dumb stuff
Right.
you can get away with.
That's what
um,
interested me in it to begin with, and like that's also what annoyed people who are actually Metal Gear fans because it's like there's no story, and it's like I
well,
have.
and so Metal Gear is the absolute opposite of the spectrum. Do not even touch that game unless you've played,
Yes, I
Metal
have
Gear Solid
heard
one through
that that
three.
game, along with like Final Fantasy, you have to have like a PhD in like the literacy of that game to understand what's going on.
Um,
Just a Hideo Kojima staple.
yeah, Hideo Kojima. He definitely wanted to make movies. I don't know why he decided to make games, but
I follow him on Twitter too, both of his accounts, and all he talks about is movies. He's a
yeah,
huge cinemaphile.
um, yeah. So I will say it's a masterful capstone. Like if you're either familiar or if you actually played one through three, Metal Gear Solid 4 is an absolute masterpiece. You really should experience. It's an amazing, should have been end to the series. Um,
Right,
but you have to work to get there, and I don't know if that's really worth it.
right. The one thing that always comes to mind because I haven't played the game whenever I hear Metal Gear Solid 4 is that it holds the Guinness World Record for the longest single cutscene in a video game.
It's worth it. Like I remember I
It's
was playing that with a friend when it first came out. That's what this is the game I got my PlayStation 3 for. Um,
Oh, yeah, I forgot it was still a PlayStation exclusive. That
yeah,
was
not
so
only was
weird.
it
It was an exclusive for the PlayStation, and then they had shit on the GameCube, including
mhm,
remakes, and then it went back to
yeah,
being PlayStation exclusive,
and
including the portable games.
it did not even run on the PlayStation 3 very well. You had to install it off the discs. These were like 45-minute install times where you just had to
Yeah,
watch Snake
I
stand there and smoke the
definitely
whole time.
remember having a 360 before like the end of the 360 era and how long some games. I
Yeah,
remember me and my buddy. It was like his birthday party, and I was 13 years old, and we were like, "Oh my god, GTA 5 just came out! I can't wait to play this." We were
yep.
at his house, and we just wanted to stick it. We were used to just sticking it in the disc, and you could play it, right? But then it said like there was a 65 gig, and he had a hard drive, but by the time it had completed, it was like 2 days after we had the party.
Yeah,
Oh
so I
my
mean
god, it was
now
the
GTA 5
worst.
is on like its third generation now. It just keeps evolving.
It's like they
Um,
say the PlayStation 2 had 3 GTAs, GTA 5 had 3 PlayStations.
I don't think I've heard that one before.
No.
That's a good analogy. Like that's just a good observation.
Right.
But yeah, as far as the long cutscene in Metal Gear Solid 4, you'll know when you get to it, and it's like all the way at the end. And at that point, you're like, all right, Kojima, you get this one. You deserve it. Just go ahead and do your movie. you know,
Yeah, just give him his movie.
yeah.
It's only like 2 voice actors too, right? Like that's all you need to hire. It's
It's
I,
David Hayter and uh, I don't know who else it would be at that
David
point.
Hayter is the only voice actor I know of Metal Gear Solid.
Well, he even Snake in Metal Gear Solid 5? I can't remember. No, he wasn't, was he?
I thought he was.
I
Hold
thought there was a
on.
big hubbub.
Gear Solid 5 voice actors. Kiefer Sutherland, that's right. That's the other one. I forgot. Kiefer
Mhm.
Sutherland is great too.
Yeah, I'm
There's
not
a
gonna
lot of
say
movies.
Kiefer Sutherland's
Troy
bad, but it was like
Baker.
it was one of those things where it's like you got through 4 games. Why suddenly make the change there?
I mean, it always happens. People were making a big deal when Battlefield Bikini Bottom came out and when the remake came out that they couldn't get Clancy Brown. Which,
Yeah.
if you watched me play Crash Team Racing, you'll know that I won't shut up about Clancy Brown.
But he definitely deserved that cutscene. He can have that. He can have that
Right.
Guinness Book of World Records. So,
Uh huh. Which sucks because he didn't get to tell the whole story he wanted to for Metal Gear Solid 5. And when I played that game, when it came out, I was 15 years old. I was confused on why people were so upset about that because I felt like that was probably the longest game I've ever played through and enjoyed, right? And people are
yeah.
complaining like, "Oh, the Act 3 never made it. We don't get to see what happens after this." It's like, what do you mean? This took me like 80 hours to finish. Not complete, to finish.
I wasn't really invested in the story in 5. I just loved, as far as gameplay goes, just a huge sandbox to do. Like here's your objective, go do it, and figure out a way to
Right.
do it. What you want. I think that's one of the better games ever made in that genre.
I'm sure you know who John Carmack is, right?
Yes.
Well, I think he once said while Doom was being developed that this isn't completely true, obviously, but he said that story in a video game is like story in a porn movie. It's there, but it's not what you're there for. Right, like, and that's obviously not true. People love the story in video games, but for some games, especially games
Mhm.
like Doom, for example, it's like
Yeah,
you're not
it's the
there for the
genre.
story. Like I know Metal Gear fans are big into the story, but I think I wouldn't have enjoyed the game as much if I had to keep track of everything that was going on in the story.
To be fair, the Doom story is hilarious. It's really it's evolved into something funny at this point. Whether they meant to or not. Like where Hell is literally actually terrified of this guy who's coming in and
Yes,
killing all
people
of them.
love the. That's also how it's kind of been. What was it? One of the people who worked at id when Doom came out was like a devout Mormon, but he said like it wasn't like a bad thing because you're going and killing demons, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing that goes against your religion. That sounds like a good thing.
Mhm.
I don't know. I love that, and yeah, that is crazy. Like the Doom canon has such a big lore to it, but most people don't care, right? They just want to shoot shit. And the people who make the games, Bethesda, they know that, and so that's
Mhm.
why they push everything to the side.
Well, I think and it works perfectly. They're doing what their audience wants. Why mess with that? You can still put the lore in there for the people that care.
I
And
mean, you
people
can.
obviously do care, but
Here's the thing: is that I think I'm interested in the lore of Doom, but I don't want it in my face while I'm trying to shoot things and grapple. Right? It's ADHD the game, and
yeah,
if and
yeah.
I will find my own time to like read the lore. That's how it is for a lot of things. I think some
Yeah,
games like Elder Scrolls, for example, where there's a lot of lore, but you have to go out of your way to kind of read the books and that sort of thing. I think that's fine.
that's a bit too much for me. I think that's too. Like I know there's probably people that really love just exploring every nook and cranny in those worlds, but
Right.
uh,
If it's a
I just,
story-based game, focus on the story. Everything else and all the nitty-gritty details, like make it optional for me.
yeah, I don't need to read about the lusty Argonian maid
Oh yeah, yeah,
or
yeah. But that's the thing,
you know
right?
how
Is
it feels.
if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Exactly.
It's
I mean, I'm
there
gonna
for if you really like want those pieces of trivia.
yeah, I'm gonna pick up all the books anyway because I just get everything in those games. But
That's why I think that every Warhammer fan I've ever met is unequivocally but fucking insane because it feels like they're just an encyclopedia of every nitty gritty
Yeah,
detail, and there's no in
uh,
between. There aren't like casual Warhammer fans, right? That's an oxymoron.
like I know a few, and sometimes when all three of them are like they get going into it, I'm like, could someone speak English, please? Like, I don't understand what's happening.
I went to a con and there was these guys playing it at a table, and this dude was going off on like how he spent hours and hours as well, like just painting the figures, right? And I knew that was a thing that had been memed
Yeah,
on a
yeah.
lot, but I actually looked at them as like, are you a surgeon or are you just like insane? Like I said,
Mhm.
like I look, there were so many of them and they were so detailed. It's like this had to have taken months and months and months to accomplish just so you
Well,
could sit here at
that's
a
gotta be
table at a
really
con. Yeah,
satisfying, though. Like,
right.
I can
It
imagine
sounds
that being super
relaxing.
satisfying. Yeah.
It would be relaxing until I had to do it, and I would get frustrated
Yeah.
very
Right,
easily as
right.
soon as I messed something up with their $10,000 paints that they got from inside a mountain somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm colorblind and I have no real like manual dexterity. No, thank you with the miniatures.
Oh no, you're kidding. Oh,
Ugh.
what else was there?
Yeah, what else was on that list?
Uh, go through limbo without dying. Let's see. GTA Online, and then of course they put Seriously 5.0 from Gears of War. But once again, that's just busy work. Those aren't as exciting. Let me
What
keep.
is Seriously 5.0?
It's for Gears of War where you have to get every Onyx medal in the game, and to get
Oh,
those
okay.
Onyx medals, it's basically the My Kung Fu is Stronger, where you have to play this amount of
Disappointing.
time, get this many amount of backstabs, get this many amount of melee kills, and it's just an absurdly large number.
I was hoping for something like weird and stupid on that list, and not just this is actually
Those are
really
the
hard.
fun ones. Those are the fun ones. Let me see what else.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find a different list.
Board for the co-op version.
May just be not, it may not just be a very popular thing to
Right.
talk about.
The best hard achievements are the. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, here it is. It wasn't Centipede. It was Tempest. I mixed it up.
Oh, Tempest. That's a funish game at least.
Completely different game. I don't know why I was thinking Centipede. But yeah, Tempest. 14 years since it's been out, and not a single person has legitimately unlocked it.
What is the name of the achievement?
Turmoil. Let's see. How does it work? Let's see. I'm looking at it right here. Oh, the best co-op players are able to, in the early arcades game, you're able to comfortably reach level 99. No one has ever managed to come close in the evolved version on the Xbox 360. Even if they could, the final checkpoint comes at level 81, meaning you'd still need to ace 16 levels from that point to reach waves, which start at 97. The evolved version is just an unreadable mess once things start to get hectic, so this one will most likely never be unlocked properly. And then someone says, "Real talk though, Tempest has always been absolute garbage anyway."
Hey, I'll fight them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like Tempest. It's not something I'm gonna pay $60 for, but
It's one of the only like actual playable games on one of my awful consoles, the Atari Jaguar.
I was about to say that I hear Tempest 2000. I'm thinking like, oh my god, the Jaguar. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind too.
I
That
thought
and
about I thought about bringing up my Jaguar when you mentioned that the Xbox controller didn't have enough buttons on it.
oh
I
yeah,
was
that
like,
thing's
well,
basically what happens when
let
you
me
take it.
introduce you.
Right, take your Genesis controller and put an Intellivision controller on it, and you
Yeah,
get the.
put a 10 digit on there
Oh my god.
or 9 digit. Yeah.
It'd be nice if they had something like that for like Counter Strike, so you could like plant the bomb and actually like plant the bomb. That's like the only thing I can think of for a controller like that.
Well, actually, Doom was great on the Jaguar because you could switch between weapons really easily with the numbers.
That's
You could
fair,
switch straight to
but once again, that's
right
cheating
weapons.
because
But
John Carmack actually worked on that port of the game, and also didn't have music either, right? If I
that
recall
I
correctly,
don't remember. I think you're right about that, but I also have a 3DO, and I know
the
that the
3DO is
Doom.
an awful, awful game, but it has amazing music.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting the two mixed up. The 3DO has the amazing music, but you play in the little tiny screen in the middle of the screen.
That was, yeah. Do you know the story about that?
They lost the source code or something, didn't
No,
they?
no. What happened was this is the craziest story in game development I've ever heard, I think, where basically the guys who ran like the 3DO company, they were businessmen, they weren't developers, right?
Yeah.
And so they thought you could just put together a game. They didn't understand the process of it. So they got one woman and they said, "Hey, you have like 8 months to like
I
make
did remember
this."
it was one woman. Yeah, I do remember that.
And it was such a bad situation for like, and so that's why people say that 3DO Doom is a masterpiece because they were able to actually get something working in that short amount of time.
Mhm.
And so the reason for the music being so kick ass in that game is because they had such little time to develop it that they didn't even have time to properly license the what they need for the Doom music. And so the CEO of the company said, "I've got an idea. Me and my buddies have a garage band. We'll just put everything together there and we'll use that for the game." And then like it just ended up being the best version of the soundtrack
Yeah, the
of that
soundtrack.
era.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
which I think
yeah,
is hilarious.
I never really read into it. I knew there was a mess with the development, and I knew about the music, but I wasn't sure about why the actual game itself was was a disaster.
Yeah, the 3DO was also extremely difficult to develop for too. Same, the Jaguar too, but once again, you have Carmack working on it. From what I understand, the Jaguar technically they call it 64-bit, right? But it
Yeah, it
technically
wasn't. Yeah,
had dual 32-bit
yeah,
processors.
that's exactly what it was.
But that doesn't equal 64 bits mathematically. That equals
No,
33 basically.
it's and you can tell like it's an absolute disaster.
And I don't know
Um,
if you've worked with assembly before,
no,
but communicating with the CPU directly is extremely cumbersome and difficult. Trying to make those communicate with each other without like causing thrashing or like write over read errors and that sort of thing would be hell. So it wasn't just that the Jaguar wasn't 64-bit, it was also that couldn't it was almost impossible for people to actually take full advantage of the hardware.
there's a reason it's sitting in a drawer back there. I usually don't have that one plugged in.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get your hands on a Jaguar CD,
Uh,
good luck with
so
that.
well, yeah, but flash cart technology has evolved to this point where the flash cart for the Jaguar can actually play Jaguar CD games.
That's fair if it can emulate the hardware and you can have that on a chip that can connect to the port of the Jaguar itself.
Yeah, well, it doesn't connect to the port. You just plug it in like a regular cartridge.
Mm.
It requires some funky formatting, but the CD games do work.
Yeah, emulation has come a long way.
Yeah, flash carts like so that's what I do. I used to collect video games, but then I started moving like every year, and then became cumbersome to move around.
Right.
So now I just got a console and a single flash cart for every game for every system. Um, which is just like an empty cartridge. You put an SD card in, and
Right.
you fill up with ROMs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's much more practical. And you can do funny. You can do great stuff that like the my one for the Genesis can also do Sega CD games. My
Oh,
one
I
for the Turbo,
gotcha.
my one for the TurboGrafx new TurboGrafx CD games. So
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't have to actually read a physical disc. It's just a way of retaining information, and disc
mhm,
technology happened to be best during the time, but now it's not. We have flash
right.
information. But the first thing that comes to my mind when you say Jaguar emulation is how much pain the developers would have to go through to create an emulator that could emulate something is completely. Oh my god! Just thinking about it. I know some
Well,
people are whizzes with those kind of things, but
I used to I used to have a Philips CDI, which is another awful system.
oh, no
We
kidding.
we lost it in a house fire when I was a kid. Um, I was like, as an adult, I was like, I wonder if anyone's even bothered to even like try to make an emulator for the Philips CDI.
They
Is there any
absolutely have
demand?
to.
Yeah, is there any demand? Like there was one, but it was like commercial, and you had to pay for it. So I ended up just getting a Philips CDI.
Yeah, the Philips
um,
CDI right now is has such a cult following because of how bad it was that there's demand for it and people want to say they own a CDI, but there weren't very many because it was terrible. Well, I mean, I guess it sold this reasonably well in like Europe, but
but I was
either
gonna say
way,
it was
there's not.
actually kind of big in Europe. Yeah.
But regardless, at this point, it's really hard to get your hands on one, and so there's a demand for it. So they're really expensive, and so people who want to try this stuff out for the novelty but don't want to put down thousands of dollars for it, especially for some of the games,
Well, yeah, and the
you
worst
have
part
to
is
emulate it, and so there's a demand to make an emulator.
for the Philips CDI is that it has it's not quite a suicide battery, but it does have a clock battery in it, and
Hmm.
if the battery runs out, the system actually just won't run games anymore. Which
That's I was
which
not aware
doesn't
of that.
sound it doesn't sound awful. Like some systems have batteries. The Sega Saturn has a battery.
My Dreamcast
It'll
has one that doesn't work
yeah,
right now that I never
yeah,
replaced.
it'll run without the battery, but the battery's easy enough to replace. It's like a watch battery you just
Right.
pop in.
You just have
The
to make it think that it's always January 1st, 1998 for the
Yeah,
rest
right,
of
or
the
that,
time.
yeah, that too. But for the Philips CDI, it's not just they couldn't just let you replace the battery. It's in
It's
case
not one of
they
those little things,
it's in,
those little watch batteries, C batteries or whatever.
well, it is a watch battery, but it's in
Watch
case of the
battery.
ceramic. It's in case of the ceramic chip. So
Uh,
you have to actually you either have to Dremel the chip open and then replace the battery inside the chip, or replace the whole chip
yeah.
because they couldn't just be nice.
At least the CDI is valuable enough right now because of its demand and relative rarity that it's the cost is relative, right? Like if you get it repaired, you have a working system that's worth a lot of money. If that
Yeah,
was the case with the Dreamcast, then you wouldn't even bother. You just buy another
but
Dreamcast.
yeah, but Dreamcast is like under $100 easy.
I got mine for 50.
Yeah, I was about to say, and the nice thing about the Dreamcast is I don't believe there's DRM on it. I think if you're one of
There's
those
the
people that
opposite
still,
of DRM.
if you still own a CD burner for whatever reason, you can just play whatever you want.
Yeah, that was the biggest blunder. When I learned about the more technical aspect of that, I had to just facepalm.
You
I,
know, I know I've seen a video on it because there actually is
so
DRM on it, but I can't remember why it just didn't work.
basically, similar to what the PlayStation did, the Dreamcast followed the mantra of it's easier to pirate software than it is hardware, right? Like you can put a
Mm,
ROM on a CD, and if your system reads a CD, then you can just burn onto a CD. And so what they did was instead of using CD-ROM, Sega developed their own GD-ROM, and
that's right.
that's what the Dreamcast runs on. And so it won't accept a CD because it's formatted and it's partitioned the information on it differently, so it won't run. The problem is that there was a port that was designed on the Dreamcast for an unreleased add-on that would allow you to use CDs. I don't remember the exact purpose of it, but it involved using CDs. And so it was found that because that existed on every Dreamcast at the time, that it was possible to trick the system into reading a CD-ROM as a GD-ROM using an action replay. And it just so happened that at the exact same time this was figured out, Sega Magazine was releasing a demo disc that included a demo for action replay.
That always turns out like that, doesn't
And
it?
so they basically were free sending out to these subscribers discs that were capable of tricking CD-ROMs into being read as GD-ROMs, meaning that if you had a demo for an action replay or an actual action replay, all you needed at that point was a CD burner. And then you would burn it onto your CD, put in the action replay, and it would play the CD as if it were a GD-ROM because the system was capable of reading CD-ROMs,
Yeah.
even though it never what was supposed to be used with that technology was never actually released. And
And now,
so,
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say it took less than a year for the Dreamcast to get discontinued after that.
Yeah, it's a shame. And nowadays it's even less complicated. You don't need the action replay because now there's just specific packages you burn to a CD that'll self boot without the action replay or anything like that. So
Right. But I mean,
because
back in the day, a demo disc that can give you every game, that's a bloody good deal. People are going to go for that.
oh yeah, absolutely. You kidding me?
That's what
They messed up a lot of stuff with demo discs.
are you
What was the
the
name? Like,
Beautiful Joe one for the PlayStation 2?
hmm
Or was it the
uh,
GameCube? I can't remember. No, it was PlayStation. Because it
yeah, I
was a
think it was
PlayStation
PlayStation.
Extreme magazine, yeah.
Mhm. There was one. There was a game called Kyo Flying Squadron. I think that was for the
Yes,
Saturn.
that was they kept the cheat code in.
Yeah, so it was only supposed to be the first level, but you could just literally play the whole game.
Funnily
Just
enough, they did that with Crash Bash too.
yeah, so demo discs, yeah, they kind of messed up a little bit there sometimes.
Right.
You have to wonder why that went by the wayside.
Yeah, that's the only reason we have a prototype of Crash Bash that's leaked is because of that demo disc.
And that's awesome. That's so cool that we get to see that stuff. But it's just funny. They
Hmm.
have to. They don't mess it up every time, obviously, but they messed up so many times that we get cool stuff like that.
It's just the big blunders that everyone cares about.
Mm.
What else was there? Another one. This one wasn't as consequential, but the top loader for the NES removed the. Was it? Did they remove the? Yeah, they did. They removed the the chip that checked for a Nintendo signature
Yes,
on the
yes, they did.
cartridge, which is what
Yep.
created the third-party unlicensed.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that was fine anyway. I mean, I had a I had a Game Genie anyway, so we were getting past that chip no matter what.
I mean, those bypass chips, they were so simple back in the day. Literally, all it did
Mhm.
was check for a specific signature. But it was so easy. Maybe not to people who were developing back in the day, but to send information to the disk. I mean, sorry,
Mhm.
to the chip. Nowadays, like for my PlayStation, if you aren't like me, who's a wizard with the swap method, I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Oh yeah, hotspot methods. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're-
the chip is a lot more advanced, and so you actually have to disable it and replace because it doesn't just you can't just disable it, right? You can't just get rid of it. It actually
Right.
the ROM itself, the BIOS detect if it's there or not.
I think
So
what we just had a paperclip hold down the button where the lid, that
hmm
kept the lid made the system think the lid was still spinning.
hmm
You just waited for it to check to see if it was a real disc, and then you just swapped the discs out like that.
right.
But you could do the same thing with the Sega Saturn.
Oh, really?
Yep. And
Fair
the
enough.
Sega Saturn was nicer because it like beeped. It had like little beeps and boops at you. You knew exactly when it was time to take the disc out. It was like a little microwave.
It's interesting that that's the case because the PlayStation uses different anti-piracy technology. I mentioned before with the Dreamcast that the whole idea was it's harder to pirate physical media than it is software, right?
Mhm.
The PlayStation used, they had the black bottoms of the disc.
Yeah.
That was because it wasn't just because it was how the laser read the disc, but also because it distributed the weight differently, which caused the disc to naturally wobble. And so a disc that doesn't wobble uh, puts a different signature out. It's just that it only happens to check for that wobble signature like every so often. And so if you know exactly when it's doing that, then you can replace it with a disc that wobbles, an actual legitimate disc. And
Yeah.
that's all
Yeah.
it's reading. That exists for every single PlayStation game. It's the exact same. One isn't going to be different from another.
Yep.
It's the same exact
Mhm.
check, and that's why it's so easy to pirate for that point or like replace the chip itself because it's a consistent static thing it's looking for.
Yeah. My dad had no scruples. The second, the second we could rent PlayStation games for Blockbuster, we were on that. Like we
hmm
figured out how to do that.
Right.
So it's been a while. I haven't had to swap a disc for the PlayStation One in a long time. I play PlayStation One games on my PS3 now. Um,
Gotcha.
but like I said, there's obviously it works in a different way, but you can do the exact same thing for the Sega Saturn.
Yeah, which is funny because the Dreamcast was actually for a very long time extremely difficult to crack because of its hardware. Um, there
Well,
was. Hmm?
what's funny about the Dreamcast is that you're talking about the GD-ROMs earlier too.
Uh-huh.
The GD-ROMs also generally had a higher capacity for storage than your average CDR as well.
Okay.
So there were some games where it was kind of hard, if not impossible, to just burn and play like that.
I think what is it? I think Earthbound is one of them where the developers themselves had a big middle finger to pirates where they put in on the ROM like 242 different checks throughout the game.
Hmm.
So like if you wanted to pirate the game, you had to find all of them.
And well, Earthbound was awful about it too because
Oh, they were cruel with what they did. I think it's
um,
hilarious.
because what was it? Most of the game was way more difficult than it should have been. But if you actually somehow got to the end, it just was going to crash anyway.
Yes, that's because Earthbound used a five-stage anti-piracy. The first one was, hey, this doesn't look like it's going to run on your system. Disable that, then it's more like, listen, buddy, we know what you're trying to do, so just stop. If you disable that, then they get discreet about it by making everything way more difficult. And if you got rid of that, I think something else happened. But the last one, like you said, if you did somehow make it to the end of the game, right as you were about to fight Gygus, it would crash and delete your save file. They went way overboard with that game, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That's funny to say.
Spyro 3 did the same thing.
Did
Except,
it?
the whole point of Spyro 3 is that you have to collect pickups, and so it would randomly despawn them from the world. And they had a part where one of the fairies would straight up tell you, "Hey, I think you're running a hacked game. I think you should probably not do that." And then they warn you that things are going to go off the rails. if you do. At least they had the courtesy to tell you
Yeah,
that they knew better.
at least they told you that something was up.
But that's the point, though, is that not telling you would have been better for anti-piracy, because when people are pirating, they'll tricking them into a false negative slows the process, because then they start producing these ROMs and start sending them online or whatever without realizing that the game isn't cracked yet.
And so it's always funny when you see people complaining about games not working and developers like, "Yep, that was anti-piracy we put in the game."
Skullgirls.
Yeah.
Yep. What's funny is that the SNES and Genesis were pretty tough because they ran on cartridges, right?
Yep.
And cartridges were a lot harder, but more specifically, there was a type of technology that was available in home computers, and this is really important to what I do, and so that's why it's so interesting to me, is that there's you know how RAM works, right? It's a temporary. Well,
Yeah.
you know the difference between SRAM and DRAM?
No, I did. I don't off the top of my head right now.
So how RAM is accessed and how effectively you can access it is part of what, from a software level, decides how fast RAM is, right? How fast you can pull that information and use it. And so the difference between SRAM and DRAM is that DRAM partitions information in such a way that that it's efficient in how much information it can hold, and an SRAM it doesn't hold nearly as much for the same level of capacity, but it's much, much faster to access, right? And so you would store things in SRAM that you need to be able to access quickly, while DRAM you would want to access things that you might need to keep on, like that isn't actively being used, right? That you need to access.
Yeah, right.
The reason I bring this up is because when this technology was being developed and while it was making big computers, neither the Genesis nor the SNES supported SRAM. But because it was such a big technology in the computing world, that cartridge copiers, which worked with the SNES and Genesis, used SRAM. And so what a lot of companies would do, including Traveler's Tales, I'm sure you've heard of them.
Yes.
John Burton actually has an entire video on this, where what it would do is they would ask the Genesis from the cart to store something in the cartridge's SRAM, right? It would be like a string of numbers. And so it would immediately ask for that number back. It's because the Genesis and the SNES don't have SRAM, that should return 0000, right? But if it actually returned it, then that meant, hey, there's SRAM in here. Our systems don't support SRAM. That means that this person has to be using a cartridge copier. And that made it so difficult just because that one piece of hardware, right?
Yeah, no, that's actually really that's an ingenious way to do that.
Failing is what causes it to know. It's not the other way around, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting.
Yeah. And of course, they would also get really tricky with pirates too. Traveler's Tales.
That's fun stuff. As I it's like I'm acting like I'm not a pirate. I am. So I still think it's funny. So.
Right. I wish I could do that sort of stuff, but like in today's day and age, even if that was kind of my job, like it's not that way anymore. Right now, the biggest anti-piracy is online DRM.
Yeah,
so
and,
you can't have as much fun with that.
There's enough out there about that, about differing opinions and how much people hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I don't necessarily mind it. I'm in a situation where I'm always going to find myself online, so I can't cry and pretend like it really inconveniences me, but I get it.
Right. From an ethical standpoint, the way I look at it is if I owned the game at one point, right? Like if I purchased this video game and I owned it, that's why I playing like Klonoa, for example. That thing cost like $250 online. And I bought a copy of Klonoa 2 when I played it. But like if you think that Philips is going to be upset if I decided to play Wanda Gamma and didn't want to spend $2,000 on it, then they can send a lawyer to my house. Right, we'll figure this out ourselves. Philips, are they even still around?
If they do, they're making generic electronics.
I was about to say, that's the first thing that comes to mind is a screwdriver.
They're making toothbrushes.
Oh man, can't pirate you wouldn't pirate a toothbrush. You wouldn't steal. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They finally figured it out.
Honestly, if I make a toothbrush and someone pirates it, I'm just giving up at that point.
Yeah,
man.
more power to them.
Yeah, you can have it.
you figured that you 3D printed it. I guess you've somehow copied everything or whatever. You can have it.
Oh man. I think my face tracking's working a little better now today.
Have you set like I know I have another friend that uses a live 2D avatar,
Yeah.
and they oh gosh, what do they do? They think they just set the frames per second up higher. Like no, is they set the resolution higher and turn the frames per second down, and that had them
Let me see. I don't know how I would do
act a
that.
lot
I think
better.
I need to get off of PRPR Live because it is. I should have just used the Live 2D one and just figure it out instead of being lazy.
Mm.
Because
I don't know. All that stuff looks way too complicated for me. That's
I tried
I've
teaching
seen it.
myself how to like rig all this stuff, but it was. Oh my god, it got out of hand really quickly, even for me.
Yeah, and yeah. My friend's trying to rig all his avatar up by himself, and that looks scary. Like he's had to restart even just like his face, the eyes, the mouth, like not even rotating yet.
I
Um,
started following a tutorial online and I spent like 2 hours on it and I finished part two and I looked at the playlist and it was like 13 parts or something and I just said like, listen, I don't even think I understand what I've gone through so far. I'll just leave it to the actual artists to
yeah,
do
it's
this.
one of those. It's one of those. Value. It's how much you value your time versus how much you want to get out of it. Like for like a full 3D avatar, like those things are expensive, but
Hmm.
from what I've seen, live 2D rigging isn't exactly the most
Now,
expensive.
lucky I got this one done for really cheap because I sketched out and created the character, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
especially if
didn't
you're providing
hire
your
an
own work, right?
artist. I
Yeah.
didn't hire an artist to make the character all like the different riggings, like the ears and that sort of thing. But for actually like rigging it to work with Live 2D, I had to pay someone for that because that is just that's
Yeah, I'm just
ridiculously.
saying, as far as I've messed around on Fiverr looking at that stuff before, and the rigging prices don't seem too extreme. So that's one of those. If I ever decided to do that, I would just, I'm not, I'll just pay for it.
I got you there.
Not worth it to me. Not worth my time there.
Hmm. Right, it goes for so cheap too, depending on where you get it. I mean, that's what I always wonder is like, how are they doing it for so cheap when like you need a skill set to do this?
Yeah, but it's one of those like I wonder if it's like once you've done it, like
It
once you've
becomes a lot
actually,
easier.
yeah, so once you've actually gone through the process with one avatar, how much harder is it? Like once you do it again, I wonder if that's really all it is.
Mm.
I'll never know, so I don't know, but because that's what my friend's thinking is. He's like, if I can get this figured out, then I could do this for other people. Then I can make some quick bucks or whatever doing this. So
Gotcha. Let's see here. What do I have? Okay. Oh, and I need to replace my. I keep forgetting I'm not allowed to. Wrong person.
there
You get
is
off the screen. You were already on here.
what is that website? There are websites that let you link into let you link avatars into Discord. It gives you those things where like you'd see my icon right there, except it would
Yeah,
like
yeah.
light up and bounce around and
I've hooked up some of those webhooks and stuff for like the timer for my
mm,
starting soon. It's just I'm lazy.
okay. Yeah. I even could have just provided you a link because I've been on other people's streams before.
Maybe
Uh,
yeah. If you can send it on Discord, maybe I'll tinker with it.
well, like no, I mean the link would just be specifically for me. Like
Oh,
people have
oh,
to set
I
it up
see.
themselves. You said would set it up as like a browser source in OBS.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I did with the like the timer and the whatnot, which I think is
Mm.
interesting.
Yeah, everyone has to do their own, but someone was asking me to do that the other day, so I already had it, sitting around. But then I
Hmm.
forgot. I kind of woke up from a nap to do this. It's been that kind of a Saturday.
Oh, you're telling me. I've just been out of it today. Like I said before, but like this was my. I guess you could say my chore day where I'm like cleaning everything up, running some errands and whatnot. So it's like,
It's a good day to have though.
right.
Get all that stuff out of the way. But unfortunately, like I do have to get going here soon. wanted to
Yeah,
go
no
to the movie.
problem.
'Cause it's been over an hour, right? I'm not
Yeah, yeah, we're at the we're at about the time. It looks like plus the 15 minutes. It's been about an hour and 14 minutes, so we're about
Okay,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
so.
I didn't want to be rude and cut and run, but it's like I have some stuff I got
Like
to
I
do
said,
tonight.
like I said when I did the one with Naoki the Wickers, like the Midwestern way to do it is just put your hands on your
Well,
press. Well, it's about that time, isn't it?
that's about that time. Well, hi, this was really fun.
Yeah, yeah. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, it was.
I love spieling about these sort of things. I know it's hard for me to keep my mouth shut once people bring up like topics that I'm interested in.
No, that's awesome. Like, that's great for something like this.
Yeah.
Uh, just glad to be here. But yeah, I do have to go. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yes, thank you
And
so
I'll
much.
definitely see you the next time I
Yep.
see you streaming.
Awesome. Sounds great. Enjoy the movie.
Yeah, you have a good night.
You too. Let's see here. Hey, that was fun. And now we switch over to. I think we're just doing more Counter Strike tonight because, or actually, were we doing Counter Strike or were we doing We Were Here? I gotta ask my buddy Gabe. Y'all know Gabe. Here, let me text him actually. All right. When you on? And I write it U instead of YOU because I'm just that kind of guy. But what I will say is, I think we're gonna take a short break because I still have to eat dinner, and then we'll be back pretty darn soon. So I'll catch you then. Bro, it's playing Station Square again? Whew. I still haven't gotten anything back from my buddy. So I don't know what the plan is just yet. Oh. Wow, speak of the devil, right as I say that. 30 to 40 minutes. Cool. I can ask to see if my... bro. I guess we could just take a break for a little bit. We'll keep taking a break. Just for a little bit longer.
Did you think I meant you? That would be funny if it weren't so sad. Well, you have been replaced. I don't need anyone now. When I delete you, maybe I'll stop feeling so bad. Don't make some new disaster. That's what I'm counting on. You're someone else's problem. Now I only want you gone. Now I only want you gone. Now I only
While we're waiting for Gabe, let's clip some stuff from the last stream while we wait. On. Where? Let's see here. It wasn't a part of Half Brained. Did it not? Hold on. Did it not publish? Hate when this happens. Gotta wait for it to do its thing, though. Come on. Still says Half Brained is the newest one. Come on. Hot dog. And now it'll be here. I just need to find the video. You said you published it, so where did it go? Here it is. Yeah, alright.
Because
we'll
see, the
dance
thing is,
together on the
I'm
moon.
consistent in my level until he does. Still lose.
What the hell? Where's my pistol ace? I think it was on the other team.
Why is
Officially go B someday, but I'm not going to. Twice.
Oh wait, we're playing contact. This guy's rushing it, so let's just go. So excited I bought an AK on accident.
Exchange.
I am 100% going to bait.
they put all of them on A? They thought we would do the same thing?
Man, these guys are elusive.
No one died in that
I
exchange.
am 100% going to bait somebody
They
here.
weren't even there.
I didn't even know they only had 4 people on their team.
Ah, there's one.
This one's there.
No, shots hit. Oh, this dude is so sneaky.
Bro, am I just... Wait, I got 4 headshots. What the fuck?
Let's go.
That was an ace, too. I didn't even know.
Nice.
And then I died. But still.
I'll take that one. Holy shit.
Died in that
I am
exchange.
100% going to bait somebody
They
here.
weren't even there.
Ah, there's one.
This one's there.
No, shots hit. Oh, this dude is so sneaky.
Bro, am I just wait? I got 4 headshots. What the fuck?
Let's go.
Nice.
And then I died.
Hello.
Hello.
Jesus, took fucking long enough.
Long enough for what?
I thought my mic was connected, but it was not. I'm on Ethernet today, so I'm ready to destroy.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
By the way, here's from. Hold on. Here's from yesterday. Let me.
Oh, is this another clip? Is this just our thing now that we're doing? We're gonna post clips of Call Me John Wick.
Yeah, you might have doomed us. Oh, whoops.
Right in that
I
exchange?
am 100% going to bait somebody here.
Don't even know.
No, shots it.
Oh, this is
Ah, there's one.
this one's fun.
No, shots it.
Jesus Christ.
And not too bad, right?
This dude is so sneaky. Yeah.
Bro, am I just wait? I got 4 headshots. That was a pistol ace with headshot only. So are we playing? You want to play CS? You said.
Yeah, but we can do it through Face It.
I mean, we can do whatever. I just want to make sure we play in here. Is there anyone else who might want to play?
I mean, let's find out. We'll open up Counter-Strike. As well. We'll open up Counter-Strike and we'll open up Face It.
Let me see who's online. Tristan's sitting alone. I could ask him.
God.
Come on, it'll be fine.
Whatever you say, sure.
Well, I mean, it feels weird to play with just us and then him. Of course,
What? Why does it feel weird? You have to explain this to me now.
just because he always comes with like a group.
Well, then see if there's anyone else that he would want to bring in.
I mean, they would be in his call typically.
I don't know, maybe he was about... Just fucking ass, shut the fuck up.
All right.
With your fucking logic.
Hold on, I'll go ask him real quick. Hey, come play CS.
Dude, I can't. I hate that game and I'm sick. I worked all day today and I might have COVID.
I got you. All right, well, whatever, man. Have fun.
All right,
Get
talk to you
better.
later.
Yep. He says he's sick.
Sure. Sick. I'm sick. I'm sick.
Yes, he is sick.
Okay,
If it's just
I
the two
just
of us. How
messaged...
about we? Get someone. If it's just the two of us, we might as well play Tiny Tina. If you can get someone else, we can play CS.
Oh, nonsense. We can play CS and get our ass stomped.
Does that sound fun to you?
Yes. Right in this moment, yes. After a match, probably not. But right now, yes. Hello? Hi, yes. Yes, you're such a good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Jeez.
My roommate's girlfriend brought her dogs over, so they're coming over to say hi right now.
Gotcha.
You were like, why the fuck is he talking like this into the mic? The answer is because it's erotic, my friend. Network error, trying to reconnect. What the fuck are you telling me? Huh? Network error? Eh? Eh? Nani? Oh, seizure! Okay. Ozzy is online.
Ozzy?
Yes.
Osborne?
I don't remember his fucking name.
Who's Ozzy?
Ozzy, the kid we used to play with, remember? With Tristan and them.
Oh, I see. Is he now?
Yes,
He won't
is.
play if he isn't with Tristan, will he?
I don't know. Why don't you ask him? It's your turn to... Or wait, no. Is it my turn to ask? No, it's your turn to ask. Why is Face It glitching out?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Apparently it's something with my DNS.
Oh boy.
Apparently some issues with Google DNS reaching Face It. The team are looking into the issue and seeing what we can do to assist. There, Face It opened. Okay. So.
I shouldn't have eaten.
Oh, who messaged me back? Oh, this fucker did not message me back.
What is this?
You ready?
What? What's up?
We're gonna play CSGO, my dude.
With who?
With me.
Oh my god, why don't we just play Tiny Tina?
No, because we said we were gonna play CSGO, so now we're gonna play one match of CSGO.
Fine.
And then we will play Tiny Tina. The mediocre knockoff Borderlands game.
It's not a knockoff, it's from the same people in the same world.
I know, that's the joke. That's the joke, Jesus. God. Okay, now. Wait. I was ranked. Am I now unranked?
Yeah, you're
again?
ranked still. You're silver 1.
No, it's in Face It, I'm not ranked.
We're not playing Face It, are we? Well, we don't have it set to you have it set to Wingman, what?
Do I? I have it set to 5v5 ranked.
It says Wingman where I open
Hold
it
on.
to play. Are you on Face It? Let's not do Face It.
Why not Face It?
I don't know, because we don't rank. I mean, I guess we do. If you want to play Face It, we can play Face It, alright.
It doesn't matter which one. Okay, fine. We'll do CSGO.
I'm already
we'll do
opening.
CSGO.
I already opened Face
No,
It.
too late. We're doing
You
CSGO
are
now.
such a cuck.
We're doing CSGO now. Okay.
Alright, put on Nuke.
Yes, I
Take
did.
off
Mirage.
Dust 2 and take off Overpass.
I'm not. Oh, no. Okay. Hold up.
Put
No,
on Cash.
I don't want to wait forever. No,
You're
we're
not
not
gonna
doing
wait
cash.
we are not gonna wait forever, I guarantee.
Here. There.
Dude, not Overpass. We'll never
Overpass or Dust 2, pick one.
Cash.
That was not an option given.
It is now.
The wait time for that is 4 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yes, but that's on top of the wait times that we have for the other maps, so just put it on. Oh my god, we're going to get Dust, dude. I do not want to play Dust.
Fine, there. Compromise.
Alright, dude. Dust is such an ass map.
It is not an ass map. You are just ass.
Really?
Yes,
What does that
really.
say about you?
I am lower than ass.
Uh-huh. Your girth.
Oh, yeah. Talk down to me more, daddy.
Uh...
You can't beat me at my own game. Wow. Fuck, it's cash. God damn it.
I told you it wouldn't take very long. You're like, no, we have to go every map.
I didn't want to fucking go cash. That's what I didn't want to fucking go.
We're not even playing ranked.
Wait, fuck, we're not?
Nope.
I'm retarded. I'm quitting out.
No, you can't at this point, otherwise you'll get a cooldown. We just have to play
Alright, well then
unranked.
we're playing one more match after this. And then we'll do Tiny Tina's.
This guy, man, I tell you. Can't even work the menu in CS.
On Medic.
What is he firing at me with?
Your mom.
Who's Poppy Trudeau?
Your mom.
Oh, you don't know who that is?
No.
Well, he's on my Steam friends list and it just said he's playing CSGO.
Invite him.
Well, we're already in warm-up. I mean, we could try leaving. If you disconnect, no one will be able to... Yeah, it's threatening to give me a cooldown. We just gotta play it.
Yep. Dumb. Suck my dick. You suck. I killed both of you. You fucking suck.
You know, you can suck. Bro, I want to pistol y'all. Why are you bringing out the scoped weapons? Oh, you bought head armor, so I have to actually start buying a deagle for warm-up. What a bitch. There. Bro, I can't see shit because this guy shooting me. What the hell? Toe sucker. That's the man I trust with my life. How come you always go dualies?
Because they're good.
Are they? Are they really?
Yes, they are. They got a buff too. 1B.
There's... Yep, I see him. Okay. Yeah, you can have those dualies, man, but if you're firing from that far, unless you get like 2 head taps in a row, you're never going to kill anybody with them.
I shouldn't have fucking peeked there.
It's not about the peak, it's the running in front. Why are they... What are they doing? Are they playing to plant the bomb or what? It looks like they are now.
What they're doing.
No, they're not. That's a 1v3 now.
I think they're playing team deathmatch. That's what they're doing.
Fine by me.
Yo, switching to these crosshairs were a good decision.
Gotcha. Oh boy. guess I'll just dig because we're kind of forcing here. I'm gonna go up top here. They have an AK round one.
They're rushing B hard.
Not a lot I can do about that.
Wow, no shit, really?
Dude, how is this not hitting? What is with this fucking thing?
Jesus Christ.
We have a weapon that isn't a pistol. I'm not having fun with that. We can't even buy because everybody forced. Gabe,
On the contraire.
can they hear me through your mic?
I don't know if they can, honestly.
Because I heard an echo. I mean, I guess I didn't hear it in game, but you
They're
bought an
gonna go
M4?
B. Yes.
Oh boy.
Why do you know that?
Because they've gone B like twice now and it worked for them really fucking easy. Shut the fuck up.
Ah!
Fucking no. How was your first? This is your fault. Fuck.
Shut the fuck up.
You fucking throwing, bro.
I'm not saving. I don't care if you guys don't like turn on your. I can't hear you saying he's echoing.
That's the spirit right there.
What's your mom's name?
I don't think you could pronounce it.
I see. Maybe not. Bitch. Whoa. That's my girlfriend you're talking to.
Nice. This is an SSG, I think. Yeah. Where's my M4? Yeah, I don't want an SSG.
Maybe now they'll go B. Maybe.
What did you say, Blue? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Don't listen to green. No, I'm green. Don't listen to yellow. Fuck yellow.
I hear footsteps, I think.
These two B.
Well, they have the bomb here, so we have to. Alright. Someone could pick up an AK. I don't want to pick up an AK. I can't deal with the AK, man.
Yellow, how does your back feel?
Abe, why are you talking to the...
Don't listen to him. He's like this normally. It's nothing personal, but
Oh, it's okay, baby. I won't.
Why did we smoke them? What?
I don't fucking know. Footsteps B-side?
That
Okay.
He lined it up for me. Bad time to throw an incendiary. Gabe, you have to crouch jump, buddy.
Oh, they were saving that round.
Yeah, we won 2 in a row, so if they 4-spot twice, then they would have run out. Yeah.
Now they're gonna have something. Brilliant top level strategy.
Mm-hmm. If they come from our spawn, we're covered. One of them pushed.
How the fuck?
There's another one that made it past.
Oh, now I'm the one that's bad at the game. Nice kill.
That's 3 from me. I'm really low on HP. One of them is in the corner where he was. He's in checker room, I believe, unless he got out when I was flashed. Did I get a 4K?
Good kill.
Wait, I took their entire team on?
Yes,
In
you
more
did.
ways than one, wink wink.
Mm-hmm.
I can take their whole team at once. That has 2 meanings.
You know what? I'm gonna buy a Kevlar this round because I can.
Oh, he's getting serious. Oh, one of them left, and one of them's 04.
Yes.
One of them is going through vents. Or one of them broke vents, at least. Shit.
Hold up. Yeah, they're going this way. One nest.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's in nest. He's gonna peek out.
Nice.
I don't know where that was from.
Fuck.
Nice.
I should not have gotten that kill. I couldn't tell if it was from our spawn or not. Luckily, he's bad, so a couple shin shots was able to get him. I was hoping that they would try to go through tree room so I could be in this corner, but they never did. They started going A instead.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh god, bad place for me to sit. I guess no one's gonna go B. Except for the guy with the USPS, and then Toe Sucker's gonna throw fire on our own team. Oh wow, good shot.
Oh my fucking god. That was.
Did you throw that yellow and purple? What the fuck's wrong with
Shut your bitch ass up. I'm the one carrying your ass.
This is a norms game.
Damn, no need for such salt. It's a norms game. Damn, that's
Gabe,
hard.
don't communicate with the malcontent.
a boyfriend like that?
Oof.
Yeah, you tell him.
Sorry, you're my boyfriend too, bro. Sorry.
Everyone's got a boyfriend.
What about orange? Great, this fucking shotgun I bought was useless.
We'll pull out your pistol.
I did.
Do it better.
Hold up.
Are they rotating?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Hmm. That's a cool M4. Oh, I didn't get to pick it up. How am I so good at wasting incendiaries? They're $600, man. Whoa, lag?
Choose your boyfriend.
What's with the lag? What the hell? Gabe, are you getting FPS lag?
No.
Hold on, let me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks like it was a server thing because it's all back. Throw another one.
They're actually smoking here.
I'll be. Oh, well. Y'all doing? Gabe, are you lag switching if you finally step so low?
No.
It's you guys. Everyone's. Were you the only one who didn't get the lag drop?
I did not get the lag switch.
Or do you just normally play at like 10 FPS? You know, bro, I'm trying to kill some bitches. Alright, well that's... Yep,
There's one more. Checkers.
yep, he's down.
I'm gonna throw a flash real quick. Flashing. Flashing, Ben. Look away.
Gabe, I'm not even near that room.
You were looking in that same general direction.
There's one here.
Where is here?
He was just walking to the point.
I wish it was me. I wish I was that smart.
I don't have a mic, just tell him. He says
He
no.
doesn't have a mic, but he says no.
I sold the last one I had.
Yes. How else will I get carried to victory unless I play with him? He didn't even respond to that.
I don't know what the deal is.
We're just going for it. Okay.
I am going for it.
Vince? Okay, that was us.
Oh, they're definitely not B. I killed 2 of them. They should not be fucking up this bad against just one person. But I'm only 3rd on the leaderboard anyway. Fuck. They really are just running it down. I knew it. No one goes to go B.
At least one B.
I'm sorry.
Footsteps B.
One of them is in vents.
One B.
I'm sorry.
Mostly left. We on that right there.
They're just bad, man.
Yes.
Hey, I'm right on top where I deserve to be. Finally. Is that your flashbang? Is that your fire? One of them broke the first vent. But we killed him. Can I knock it up there, man? We got the boring job. He could run it A. Or we can just kill him at... Alright, halftime. I had full money. Because we've won the past 6.
I need a care, guys.
What?
Coach B.
We're going Slavic style. Where are they?
We're outside.
They sat there. They had to.
No one just us.
Is this guy...
Hit 90.
They all had base weapons, too. I mean, are we seriously just not going to buy? I think we should force, honestly. I mean... I'm forcing, screw it. I'll say $500 for myself. They're knifing each other. Did they put one person on point?
Go play bomb blue.
There's one heaven. Oof. Oh my god, I lost top spot, went to third. Fuck. He's probably not heaven anymore. Don't forget, you guys have control of bomb. Why do I have to have the bomb? Why do I have to have the bomb? Gabe.
You don't have to. Okay. Alright, don't ignore him. Ignore him. Ignore him. You don't have to have bomb, though. Oh, sorry. I thought you were my friend. I don't know. I thought you were Viper.
Let's run around to B.
Just so you know, Gabe, my mic echoes through yours. Gabe, there's 3 of those guys.
Can we vote yes, please? I gotta pee.
Fine.
Thank you, Debs.
We Deacon.
Alright, it's definitely Toe Sucker, so can we vote to kick him next, please? Because he's the one who's flashing us anyways. Vote to kick Toe Sucker, he's flashing us anyways.
I don't know, man. He's 16, 2, and 7. Oh, they're coming through vent. I couldn't get through far enough.
Who's actually voting no? Was it you? You have every reason to hate this guy, Blue.
He's the one flashing us and shit. Fuck this dude.
So he calls you bad words.
Wait, Gabe?
No! Did I
What?
disconnect?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. But now I have 274 FPS.
Yeah, because you're in a menu.
I'm back. You can't fucking stop me.
How did this guy?
You shut the fuck up. Fucking slut ass, hoe ass motherfucker. Man, you only have one word in this bitch ass. Here, go open up a dictionary so you can have.
You are eating your mic. Let's go A. We haven't gone A a single time yet.
Whoa, guys, this is getting really toxic here.
Dude, I can't do shit with it.
Man, you only have one word in your fucking vocabulary. Open up a fucking dictionary. Shut your bitch ass up.
Now you're being racist, bro.
If you attack a toe sucker. Because he knifed him. This is the pot calling the kettle black from the guy whose every response is "fuck you." Shut your bitch ass up. Fuck you. That's you guys' conversation together. Shut your bitch ass up. Fuck you. Shut your bitch. Dude, no. You saw him. Why? Remember when that round was free and then he fucking...
This is because you were toxic. Now we lost our top frag.
I swear to God, both
Damn,
of you
you're
are giving...
toxic.
You guys are both giving me a fucking aneurysm.
Okay, now we actually gotta fucking try. No, we're in the fucking game. Leave.
He bought a sniper and instantly died.
Let's go B. Okay, I'm gonna swing. Okay. You left. We got a minute 19.
We have time, but we have to play. They know I'm here.
Hey,
Do you have utility?
Heaven. One heaven, op. Yep, he's gonna come from checker side. Ooh, he had 9 health. Ooh, that was a close one.
What the fuck is happening? Do I have body armor? I do. I don't have head armor, but I'll be fine. You want to boost me, Gabe?
Yeah. So, why don't you fucking buy something, huh? Make a contribution. Oh, now we might actually lose. Okay. There's 2 fucking storehouse. 2 warehouse.
How's the op?
There's 2 to your left. And look to your left.
I tried to shoot him, but I got flashed. We have money, so let's spend it.
Now yellow bought an auto.
He bought the last auto I had. I just picked it up from his corpse after he got opt. You guys keep going that way. I'm gonna make him think I'm going here. See, now they're placing down shit because they think... Are you guys taking point control?
2 behind, 2 behind.
I'm not even on point, Gabe. Fuck, well, the cat's out of the bag, so I
To
gotta...
your left. To your left. Another one to your left.
I ran out of ammo. I can't control the recoil on this thing.
I need to actually start playing well. Fuck. You know what? I think they're all gonna go B.
So sucker wants to lose the ball.
What the fuck? Where are they at?
There's only one.
Hold up. Behind? Behind us. I'm watching behind. Fuck! How did I not kill him? 87. Coming through.
I couldn't hear him.
Oh, fuck. I need to move my crosshairs just a little bit higher.
I'm opping this round. I don't care. I throw my utility and then he showed up from behind. That's unfortunate. You want to boost me again, Gabe?
Yep. Let's go A, honestly.
I have to drop the bomb though.
$27 warehouse.
Oh shit.
Behind you.
A little late. If I'm the
Oh,
only one
Jesus
alive,
Christ.
Gabe, you shouldn't coach, because unless you have another perspective, I can probably see everything that you can. Otherwise,
What
we
I'm
could.
saying is I'm hearing stuff you're not hearing.
Sure.
I am, because you clearly you won't hear players' footsteps that are to your left.
I wasn't
and
sure if
you'll
he had a viewpoint from there or not, and I was making sure that nobody popped out to shoot me if I
I'm
turned.
not talking about that one time, Ben. I'm talking about multiple times now.
Okay. We took a kill. We need to take that pick and rush it.
Op is sitting fucking nest, so he's gonna be coming through right there. Op was nest.
I don't know if he ran through to get it.
I am thrilling.
Not as much as Joshy Poo, but Toesucker is just trolling, so. Toesucker's gonna rush it with a P90.
Hold up. If you're gonna
We're just running it.
he's in the right corner.
I can't right now, Gabe. You're gonna have to give me a minute. Yeah, he wall banked. I didn't even. How can you hit through metal like that? I wouldn't peek the same direction twice. Yeah. He
Fuck!
ducked.
I missed the headshot.
It's because he ducked, yeah. This is my last time I can use an op, so I hope we get something out of it. Otherwise, it's gonna have to be a tie game. I'm just gonna swoop out mid. Nope. He gets to it there first because he's on defense.
$95. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Joshy Foo. There's no way this guy of all people. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, we can tie it. Whoever the guy was who tried to kill our teammate. Okay. Okay. Well, can we make? Let's go B and let's use utility.
Flashing?
They're coming from behind.
Evan?
I'm dead, Gabe. They below you, dude. You were covering it with your gun. No way. Why did he reload? He had 19 bullets. This COD player. God, what a fucking ridiculous situation.
Shut your bitch ass up! Shut your bitch ass up! Goodbye.
And you got
Never
it all
again will I play fucking cash.
Let's play Tiny Tina, or I'm going to bed.
I hope you like your nice soft pillows.
Okay, thank
I'm
you.
kidding. We will play a little bit.
A little.
You'll see how a little bit.
We don't have to play if you don't want to. We can always do it tomorrow or something.
No, because it's on my fucking wish list, so I'm gonna have to play it. It's just not clicking with me too much.
What game?
Tiny Tina.
Gabe, we own it.
Yes, I know it's not clicking with me too much.
Not yet. Then I mean, if we're gonna like play it, I think we should have more time to play it. Let's just play tomorrow. I'm kind of tired.
Alright. I was gonna say we could play right now, but yeah, alright. Oh, sleep well.
Yep, you